watching it slip away. Battle lines clouding the picture frame. I could try to wipe my mind.
Hi everyone, I am here in Tel Aviv at Hostage Square. I'm going to take you guys on a tour of this place that basically the families of the hostages and a lot of the public have come here basically every single Motzei Shabbat, every Sabbath evening, and also in general coming here to protest and to stand for their loved ones that are in captivity. Tomorrow there's a planned release of 3 hostages. I'm going to be here again tomorrow, but I'm going to show you guys first just all of the things around and all the displays that the families of the hostages have put around here. The first place that I'm going to take you guys is one that I think is just a grotesque and horrendous display that's so necessary for people to understand actually what the hostages feel. And it's a Hamas terror tunnel. And it's so weird to look at it in the middle of Tel Aviv. Imagine terror tunnels that go meters and meters and meters underground, and it's as big as the subway system in New York.
So high, oh why we keep falling for ages, always trying to reach for something, but all we ever find is nothing. Over and over and over again, isn't it time we forgive and forget?
I'm going to take you guys through this tunnel, and immediately what you can sort of hear is what basically the hostages would have heard while they're walking into these tunnels. So I want you to listen to it and imagine it. Above these tunnels you would have explosions. You would hear the fighting between the IDF and Hamas. I feel sort of like an eerie feeling, and I want you guys to imagine this with me, that all around you and leading you in are Hamas terrorists. Maybe you're barely even dressed, you've been kidnapped, you've been taken from your house in your pajamas, some of them even without shoes, and you're being held hostage at gunpoint, being led inside these terror tunnels. Some of the terror tunnels, they would say that there were some of them wide, some of them narrow, some of them you had to stoop below, and they said that the hostages that they would walk sometimes for hours inside these tunnels. The more you go deeper into these tunnels, the less air you have, and I can already feel that even just going into this little tiny display. You can feel the light disappearing and it becoming darker and darker. And with that, the super eerie feeling that the more you go down, the less visible you are, the less anyone can see you and hear you and find you. A lot of the hostages, they were kept inside tunnels like this for months and months and months on end. Naama Levi, that just came back, was held in one of these tunnels for months without anyone. Another one of the Bedouin hostages said that he was in the dark inside one of the tunnels and he didn't have any sense of time of how long he was even there. A lot of the hostages were kept in rooms with barely any food, no light, no air. So you're losing weight, you're losing your sense of time. In the meantime, you're also being abused and sexually abused and completely tortured by the fact that you are in this tunnel without any way out. And I'm telling you, just being inside of here, it's just, there's something about it I can't describe, but it's just so extremely evil.
I'm standing with this white flag in my hand, trying to open up my arms again. Aren't you tired of always living on the run and setting fires? Darling, aren't you tired? You know no one's winning. Can we give it up?
Here you can see Ohad Ben Ami taken out literally from his house in boxers, barefoot. You can see Carmel Gat that was murdered in one of the tunnels, just like I just showed you guys. And there are still those that have the opportunity to come home, and we're hoping they're still alive.
Keep falling for ages, always trying to reach for something, but all we ever find is nothing. Over and over and over again. Isn't it time we forgive and forget? I'm standing with this white flag in my hand, trying to open up my arms again. Aren't you tired of always living on the run and setting fires? Darling, aren't you tired? You know no one's winning. Can we give it up and give it up?
Here you have also a tent in which you can buy their t-shirts. You also have the yellow ribbon. It's just a whole display of things that you can buy to show solidarity with the hostages. Here you can see a display of October the 7th and the newspapers that came out that day. You can see Noar Gemani being taken by Hamas. You can see also from around the world the different types of newspapers. We're going to go now into another tent that is empty right now. I think these are a Sabbath candle sort of display that they come and they have a prayer here from the Psalms. They have different Psalms here that you can pray. This is I think different prayers for the hostages and prayers in general. You can see the religious books and also a talit, a prayer shawl that you can cover yourself when you pray. This display spells out the word home, and you can see half hearts, broken hearts. Some people are saying Slicha, Mechakim lechem, we're sorry, we're waiting for you. Here you can see on these trees they hung up their photos. You can see Naama Levi with a heart that says Chazarti, I'm back. What's odd about this is that there are some of them that I quite literally don't know. There are over 200 hostages taken, and we get to know their personal stories very slowly once they come back or once we know that they are no longer. We're still waiting for them. This is Alon's yellow piano. This is a display of a Chanukiah made out of the shrapnel of rockets. And out of the sorrow we create something beautiful, and they give you a yellow ribbon in which you can tie to show solidarity. I want to take you guys to the last display, which is, in my heart, one of the most difficult ones, which is the very long Kiddush table, Sabbath table, that they put out a chair and a plate and a place at the table for every single one of the hostages. And I want you guys to see how long this table is. I'm going to go around the table and show you guys. Each one of these hostages has a chair at the table. Each one of these people, these hostages, have family, they have friends, and they're all waiting for them. Here you can see little Kfir Bibas, of whom they said the likelihood that he is still alive is very, very small. Both him and his younger brother, and Shiri Bibas, you can see in this picture over here. That's Shiri Bibas. You can also see teddy bears. You can see their personal belongings. Here you can see a Gamberger that's supposed to be coming out tomorrow, God willing. And you see more. You see every single one of these people. You can see Itai. Here you can see something really interesting. This is the chair that was taken from Ofer Calderon's burnt house in Nir Oz. Let me show you guys Ofer Calderon. This is Ofer. That was taken from his house. You can see all of the signs. Isham Shabed Asayad. You can see Shiri there. And here you can see a little children's table for the Bibas children. You can even see sort of personal artifacts. You can see people who love certain soccer fans of Beersheva. Everywhere you go, there's just another face to learn. Here you can see Liri Elbag that returned, Daniel Gilboa that returned as well, and some faces that I don't know yet. I don't know Eliyahu Margalit. Still waiting for Idan Alexander that had 2 birthdays already in Gaza. Again, here you can see Daniel Gilboa, who has returned. You can finally put a heart around her and say Chazarti, which means I have returned. There's a chair for Omer Nutra, who was of dual citizenship, an American and an Israeli, who was found to be actually died on the 7th, and they were unaware. His body still hasn't been returned. You can see just how long this table is. It seems like a never-ending table. Hey guys, so I'm back here at Hostage Square, and I want to show you guys basically what's happening. Around me there's a lot of people that came in support of the hostages. What we're seeing on the screen is Arbel Yehud and Gadi Moses. He's an 80-year-old, she's I think 29. I think she turned 29 in captivity. And they basically take them inside this van and they're bringing them towards the exchange place that they're going to give them and hand them over to the Red Cross. It's really crazy to see this historic moment live on this screen, watching all these people that have come to support, because these people have been here for quite literally day after day, Sabbath after Sabbath, coming to these protests And I think it's just such a display of solidarity, that's one. But also, you have to understand, most of these people are strangers. They have, some of them that maybe know each other, they're maybe friends of some of the hostages, but many of these people are basically they're foreigners, they're strangers to them. And it's just a very beautiful day to see in Israel the display of love that's going on here. Right now, basically, they're sort of stuck in this position where they can't physically open the door, literally just because of the crowd. The crowd isn't allowing them to open the door. They're not moving. Hamas can't control this crowd. And so they're literally there, sort of stuck in this car until they make a way for them to come out. What's really grotesque about this situation is just how Hamas is displaying it as if they're some kind of, good guys, they're civil, they're this, they're that. And really, it's just extremely barbaric what's happening now. And it's just also very, very sad to see this image, and also that Gadi and Arbel are inside of that van, together with probably, most likely, the other Thai workers. And you sort of feel like, wow, they must be terrified.
מתנצלים על הבלבול הזה, אבל אנחנו מאוד משתדלים לראות מכאן את מה שאתם גם מנסים לראות בבית. שימי לב ירית.
The images that we're seeing now are absolutely heart-stoppingly horrendous. There's crowds of thousands, and this 180-year-old man is literally just trapped amongst all of them, and Hamas is trying to get him from one point to the other, from Hamas, from that van to the Red Cross. And I can't even tell you, everyone here is just absolutely heartbroken with what they're seeing on the screen. There's just so many Hamas there that we can't really see so much. You can sort of see the head of Gadi Moses, and he's yelling. It's absolutely horrendous. It's monstrous. So it was very hard for us to see through the screens, and even to report that Gadi actually made it on the Red Cross van. But now it's been verified that he is inside that van, in the van of the Red Cross. And now what's happening is that the Red Cross is literally inching their way through. I don't even know what they're feeling, and you can see the distress on Arbel Yehud's face, that the crowd is literally just closing in on her and all the Hamas. All I can say is barbaric. It's just barbaric behavior. Hi guys, so it's been a few days since those moments at Hostage Square. Some of the faces that you guys saw in the beginning, the day before the release, some of those people are actually back home. I watched the hostage release yesterday. There were 3 more male hostages that came out. It was also so horrendous. I think Hamas has saved the worst for last. They released the most healthy looking hostages in the beginning, according to the criteria that was in the hostage deal, more or less, I would say. But the figures of the quite literally emaciated hostages that came out yesterday was horrific, absolutely horrifying. And you know, I think it was very life-changing for me to be at Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, because it was the first time that it wasn't just me talking about it with my family members or with friends or co-workers, but it was me actually being with, you know, complete strangers, and yet we were all there for the same reason, that we wanted to see our hostages come back home. And there are still another 72 hostages in Gaza. Many of them are believed already to be dead. And soon enough, we're going to receive, I think, 6 more hostages. I'm not expecting them to look good at all. I'm expecting them to be starved, just as the last 3 hostages were. And then the rest will receive as bodies. And it's just a very heartbreaking time right now in Israel. So if you're a person of faith and you're a praying person, please pray for Israel. I'm praying for all of you subscribers that are watching this, and yeah, there's a lot to be said, but I think the footage really speaks for itself. So if you are new here, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. I've been a bit MIA lately, but I'm getting back into the rhythm of things. If you're not new here, welcome back, and I'll see you guys hopefully with better news in a vlog very soon.